We've got huge Workhorse stock news, USPS contract delays, insider trading. This is a juicy Workhorse video that you won't want to miss, so stay tuned. Hey everybody, welcome back to the channel. Today, as I just said, we have a juicy video for you. We'll be going over the latest Workhorse news regarding the USPS contract delays, we'll talk about all the insider trading, and we also have some new stock price predictions. But before we begin the video, I just want to say a big thank you to those who've been liking, commenting on the videos, and subscribing to the channel. I had so many encouraging comments from you guys showing your support, and it makes putting these videos together even more fun. I respond to every one of your comments, so if you want to chat about Workhorse stock, or if you want to rant about your losses last night, that's fine too. Let's dive right into it and get to the bottom of it. Workhorse stock is suffering right now, but as much as it can be seen as bad news, it can also be seen as great news. Workhorse stock, pretty much like every other EV stock, saw some drops in share price yesterday. Workhorse stock in particular, falling 0.55%. Not too bad. Some other stocks saw a much bigger hit. This could be attributed to multiple factors, but overall, the EV market seemed like it needed a little consolidation. But then disaster struck after hours. As we've all been thinking, and as I've predicted multiple videos before, USPS delayed the contract announcement until Q2 of 2021. Oh, that's so far away. This threw investors under the bus, fearing the worst, leading to a catastrophic 23% decline in share price, one of the biggest drops the stock has seen. This drop is so significant that pretty much all of November's recovery was wiped clean. Essentially what this means is that it could be another couple of months until the contract is announced. Workhorse is still in the running, that's for sure, and it doesn't have many competitors, although its main competitor now looks to be Ford, whose e-Transit van looks like it can do over 200 kilometers per charge. That's about 125 miles, while Workhorse's C-Series vans are pulling just about 100 miles. That's a range increase of 25%, which is a substantial difference. Many of Workhorse's investors came to the company solely due to the USPS contract and the huge returns they could get if the company wins the award. So it seems fairly reasonable that so many investors are pulling out because of this. They probably think their money is better off elsewhere. After all, this isn't the first time USPS has delayed the contract. It's been talked about since 2018. Who knows what reasoning is behind the delay this time, whether it's because of the global illness, or perhaps they're waiting for Donald to leave the White House. All I can say is we won't know until a spokesperson comes out to tell us, and the chances of that happening are pretty slim, as they chose not to comment about the USPS updates earlier this year. Now, I'm not a conspiracy theorist or anything, but it is worth noting that two Workhorse directors sold out large portions of their stock right beforehand. There's one Samuels Benjamin, who sold $2.5 million worth of his stock when it was at $25 per share. However, he still has nearly 400,000 shares left in the company, so that's not too suspicious. The more suspicious one was Pamela Mader, who sold over 70% of her stock in the company while it was at $30 per share. She only had 8,000 shares in the company, so it wasn't huge. However, it is something to take note of. You can't help but think when you see this, do they know something that we don't? And in this case, right before the stock drops, it has to raise a few eyebrows. But the reality is that when directors and companies sell their stock, it could be for any reason. But it is worthwhile keeping track of. Jack Spencer Investing made a really good point of this in his recent Workhorse videos, so if you do want to know more about it, I suggest you go check out his videos. All in all, the Workhorse drop seems like an overreaction to me, because fundamentally nothing has changed. The contract is still a thing, there's still a chance for Workhorse regardless, because it's a growing company with limited competition. I know lots of bullish investors who are rubbing their hands together right now because they see it as another great entry point into the stock. They know that ultimately, regardless of the contract, Workhorse is still a winner. I'm still not fully convinced. I think it's obviously a risky investment, but that's the benefit of having a well-diversified portfolio. It lets me take these risks and not worry too much about the minor losses. I still think the stock has great potential and I will continue saying it, especially with the order for 500 trucks from Pritchard. This is quite a large order, and as this gets fulfilled, I can imagine other companies jumping on board with Workhorse. Regardless of Workhorse winning the contract, I see it succeeding in the long term. Here is a few reasons. As the company stated in its third quarter results, it plans to produce 1,800 vehicles in 2021. Given it planned to produce as many as 400 vehicles in the fourth quarter before the illness hit, it doesn't seem like an unobtainable number in the year ahead. Dwayne Hughes, CEO of Workhorse, said, "Our strategic partnership approach to engaging with dealerships has paid off very quickly, as evidenced by a recent 500 truck order from Pritchard Auto Company that will be financed by HCA. We believe this initial sale is just the start of this channel's growth." Will Ashworth, a writer at InvestorPlace, said it pretty perfectly. Maybe Workhorse doesn't have a shot at the USPS contract, and most certainly its stock possesses a nosebleed valuation. But commercial electric vehicles will happen in large numbers, especially where the last mile is concerned. and the company is positioned better than most to take advantage of this reality. After all, this is still a company that's generated less than $750,000 in sales in the first 9 months of the fiscal 2020, while losing $211 million. Fortunately though, most of that loss had to do with the change in fair value of the company's convertible notes. In October, Workhorse issued another $200 million in convertible notes. These notes have a 4% rate of interest but can be reduced down to 2.7 after meeting certain conditions. They are convertible at $35.29 per share. As long as the stock price remains high, Workhorse's liquidity won't be a problem heading into 2021. Once this illness is out of the way, production at Workhorse will pick up significantly too. Not too long ago, Workhorse admitted that its vehicle production has been profoundly impacted by the onset of this worldwide illness. Workhorse stated that 36% of its plant workers are either sidelined by the illness or awaiting test results, so obviously delays in vehicle production are to be expected. Despite contract delays, drop in share price, and director sell-offs, the stock is still seen by many as one with great potential. 4 out of 6 analysts rate Workhorse stock a buy, and 2 recommend hold. The price predictions have narrowed a lot though, with a high of $29 and a low of $19 within the next 12 months. To be honest though, with a stock as volatile as this one, it could quite possibly jump back to $30 this month, or it might fall even further. However, one thing seems certain: this is a stock that will reward a patient investor. Remember, if you're going to invest in Workhorse or any other stock, it's important you form your own opinion and do your research. Invest in it because you believe in the company, not because Steve from accounting says so. If you stayed this long, you're a legend and I appreciate you, so hit that like button and subscribe to the channel. Thank you, and I'll see you next time.